The curtain means everything. It is far better to sit with the audience. They fill the theatre with anticipation of escaping the mundaneness of their week prior. The women are dolled up, and the men hold close their immaculate wives, who are precious enough to hide their lack of fulfillment. The husband's eyes wander, and the wives' hearts pretend to be blind. In a small room behind the curtain, the bottle is emptied as the ashtray is filled. Much preparation goes into the theatre facade. Makeup, costume and all to cover the scars. Gin or whiskey or wine to fight the thoughts. A knock on the door. Time goes by differently behind the curtain. 10 minutes until it must be presentable. Stressed voices and arguments about death and doubt can be heard outside the room's door. 2 knocks. The curtain is opening. The audience marvels at the tragedy before them. They never get nor deserve a dull performance. As always, the most beautiful things are delicate and fleeting. The errors will be forgotten in the drunken blur. It makes no difference if you are front row or in the stands. The stage allows for enough distance to control your perspective. The applause causes the curtain to close. The performers congratulate each other for another night of successful deception. The masks remain as the show never truly ends. The Madame de l'Évasion slips away from the group and into the night. She tends to return during quieter times. The bar nearby acts as a shelter for the homeless and those who do not wish to visit theirs yet. A friendly smile from the lady in black before approaching the fountain of escape. An angel got lost on this night and found herself among the poor souls. The entertainer finds the courage to help her get home. Draped in a light blue that covered her pale marble figure, she revealed a smile. A smile one may be lucky to come across once in a lifetime. She spoke softly and curiously. The entertainer would let her break his heart for eternity. So tired from the performance arts, he imagined laying on her body as if a pillow to rest his unsettled mind. He dreamed of her full lips kissing the bruises on his neck and whispering promises of a life with salvation. Spoken for, we must learn from the past. It must be assured she returns to heaven unharmed and untouched. The 7th day is for church and guilt. Transgressions cannot be cast away so easily. The performance takes its own shape, choosing to maliciously manipulate the mind in its blind and vulnerable state. The needle is not the first resort, but the answer when no solution presents itself. The question is, how will time choose to pass before the next show? It feels like an endless carousel, reliving the same day over and over again. The sun goes down and the scoundrels circle around until the early hours, but the entertainer, fixed to his seat, watches these scenes repeatedly to the same vindictive melody. A hand reaches out to offer comfort and companionship on the 2nd day. It could have been on the 3rd, actually. Madame de l'Évasion is pulled onto this satanic ride. Troubles for trying to help the doomed. Solace is temporarily created in each other's bodies. The exquisite escape artist gets off the carousel, however, she remains in her own twisted amusement park. Alone again, the entertainer wanders through the streets of hell, hiding in the shades of monasteries. He stumbles across a conversation with the purest of souls. He is told of ballet lessons and days spent picking out her outfit for the upcoming recital. A costume meant to accentuate the good for once. She's not nervous about her new school, but rather distraught that none of her friends will be starting figure skating with her. The mother nearby recognizes the softness of the conversation and knows there is no harm close by. The entertainer comes to learn that ballet is unwanted after the recital. The conversation is interrupted by beautiful distractions. The bees, the dogs, the blades of grass agreeing to the wind's demands. They all fascinate her. The hour spent together meant more to him than the innocent child could comprehend. It is unfortunate she cannot stay wide-eyed and curious forever. If only she could remain unseen by perverted eyes and untouched by greedy hands. Hope continues to dissipate as the next show approaches. He does not know if he ever wants it to come. It is not by force that he makes his way back to the theatre. It has become his home. He passes the Devil's Carousel for what seems the third time. He does not fret being lost, rather allows himself to be taken by the House of Mirrors. Painted faces yell at him at every corner. None of them are familiar. His bottle no longer an elixir, the sweet poison strips away at his senses. He manages to find his small room behind the curtain. It is searing bright. The knocking will not stop. He blindly feels for help on the table, his fingers grazing jars, bottles, needles, ashtrays, knives and lighters. He carelessly grabs what is needed and can turn off the switch. The power is out. The room is finally pitch black. The audience fills the wooden benches. The curtains open and the show is played out once again. In a small dressing room on the grand opening night of the circus, the entertainer's body is no longer animated.